cars that saved their companies. Imagine a world without the cars on your favorite list. Today, we are going to tell you some of the biggest car business names which have saved their companies from drowning. Yes, they exist. Today, we will talk about these cars. Wanna know more? Stay to the end of the video to know about it. But before we proceed, make sure that you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any of our videos. So let's dive into the video. Number 1. Volkswagen Golf MKI. The Volkswagen Golf story starts with the Volkswagen Beetle, one of the most successful and iconic cars ever built. During its heyday, the 1940s to 1960s, the company unsurprisingly had several variants. However, VW was facing a major dilemma: where to turn next. By the early 70s, it had tried several replacements, including the Type 4 and the Porsche-designed mid-engine hatchback, the E266, of which 50 prototypes were built. However, just before production, this was canned by Volkswagen's new boss, Rudolf Lading. After new management, VW invested totally in a new line of models, led by Passat, and shortly afterward, the Golf MKI, which featured a new front-wheel drive platform and straight 4 engines. Volkswagen had struck lucky; it was an immediate hit. Number 2. Porsche 986 Boxster and 996 911 Porsche nearly went bankrupt in 1992. The German marque rode high, pushing up the showroom price of its car abroad, so the bottom fell out of 911 sales, especially in the US, where the company had grown fat in the UP80s. The front-engine 928 and 968 were struggling too, so Porsche had 3 ranges of cars with few parts in common. But Porsche had a new boss, Wendelin Wiedeking. He was a production specialist, which mattered. In 1993, it unveiled the Boxster concept, a lovely thing that showed the way to a cheaper but uniquely appealing roadster, the 986 generation Boxster. Cleverer still, most of its front half and the water-cooled engine would be shared with the forthcoming 996 generation 911, and common parts save costs. Purists didn't like water cooling at first, but as the 911 range flowered into multiple Carreras, GT3s, and GT2s, they fell silent, and Porsche used the cash to future-proof itself with the Cayenne. Number 3. BMW 700. Heard the one about the time BMW nearly went bankrupt? As surprising as it is to believe today, a series of poor-selling models, ranging from the 501, 503, and 507 to the Isetta, led to exactly that in the late 1950s. Its savior, the BMW 700. Unveiled at the 1959 Frankfurt Motor Show, it was the first BMW to use a monocoque structure, offering vastly improved handling. Powered by a rear-mounted 697cc flat twin derived from BMW motorcycle engine, it proved to be just the hit BMW needed. Initially offered as a coupe, followed soon after by a saloon and a cabriolet, BMW went on to sell a very much-needed 188,000 models before production ended in 1965. Without the 700, BMW, as we know it today, would likely cease to exist at all. Number 4. Aston Martin DB7. By the late 1980s, Aston Martin was looking a little lost. Despite its great history, it appeared to be on the brink, another great brand consigned to the history books. That is, of course, until an intervention by Ford and the release of a particular model in 1994. The model, the DB7. Designed by Ian Callum, it was based on a slightly evolved platform from the Jaguar XJS. Jaguar was also owned by Ford at the time and featured a 3.2-liter supercharged 6-cylinder engine and borrowed several parts from Ford, Mazda, and Citroën. Instantly it was hit, thanks not just to its sleek looks and performance, but also to its accessibility. With a relatively cheap starting price of PS $78,500, it created an entry point for Aston Martin that previously hadn't been there. Over 7,000 were sold in total. Number 5. Chrysler K-Car. In 1980, Chrysler was looking over the precipice. It avoided bankruptcy only thanks to a colossal federal loan guarantee. But new CEOs Lee Iacocca, creator of the Mustang in his Ford years, and his team had a plan. a relatively advanced and relatively small font drive car that properly competes with the Japanese cars flooding in. It was the K platform, first made as the Dodge Aries and Plymouth Reliant. They shifted shedloads throughout the 1980s. Soon the platform was being stretched and shoved upmarket to make a Chrysler LeBaron and New Yorker sorta luxe car. Number 6. Peugeot 205. In the 1970s, Peugeot expanded greatly, taking over Citroën in 1975 and forming the PSA Group, followed by Chrysler's European division in 1978. However, what seemed like a good idea at the time soon put the company into financial trouble. To survive, Peugeot needed to think big, or rather, should that be, little. As the saying goes, the best things come in small packages. Its key selling point was its versatility. The 3-door and 5-door convertible, each was brilliant in their way. Numerous special edition versions helped grow its profile, including the 1.6 and 1.9 GTI models, in addition to the iconic 205 T16 Group B rally car. Number 7. Austin Metro. The giant British Leyland was a national disgrace by 1980. The giant British Leyland was a national disgrace by 1980. Strike-ridden, appallingly managed, fielding an incoherent range of cars, its sales were in freefall. It was largely state-owned, and then Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher was minded to pull the plug. For years it had been trying to replace its signature small car, the Mini, but it was as intractable as VW efforts to replace the Beetle. Then the Metro launched, and it sold like crazy, and it is deserving. Patriotism ran wild. The TV advert, echoing Dad's Army, put Metros on the white cliffs of Dover repelling the pesky invading foreign superminis. This was the era of the Falklands War and newspaper bingo. Private Eye as usual caught the mood with its cover. Kill an RG and win a Metro. Number 8. Volvo XC90. There were two XC90s, of course, and in a way, they both saved the company. The first one was done under Ford's ownership of Volvo in 2022. It was a fantastically handy crossover, super roomy and versatile inside, but not too big outside because it had a transverse engine while rivals were longitudinal. It was a massive sales success for Volvo, both in Europe and the US. This was a time when big salons and estates in general were falling out of fashion, and Volvos, in particular, were getting trounced by BMW and Mercedes. The current XC90 is the car that showed Volvo's plan for when it was cast adrift from Ford. In one fell swoop, Volvo dreamed up its platform, rationalized engines, infotainment, and hybrid system. Number 9. 1949 Ford. When Henry Ford died in 1947, it looked like the company bearing his name would soon follow. It had fallen to third place in US sales charts and was stuck with outdated, pre-war designs. Ford's grandson, Henry Ford II, however, had other ideas. After becoming the company's boss in 1945 at the age of just 28, he oversaw the concept, design, and production of the all-new 1949 models in just 19 months. On the day it was unveiled in June 1948, 100,000 orders were placed, and Ford was back. Featuring a new, modern, elegant shape, it was an instant hit. Available in a variety of body styles, the power came from either a 3.7-liter straight-six or 3.9-liter V8. Ford went on to sell over 1 million examples, with the model helping to save and re-establish the company. And that's for today, guys. We sincerely hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please click on the like button and share it with your friends and family too. If there is one of your favorite brands, share them with us in the comment space below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see even more of our incredible videos. You can also check out our other videos that have been specially selected for you. We'll catch up in the next video.